Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout using the Neverland Studio Calico kit, and I have the Tink add-on. I'm just showing you a few things that I might be using, and again I have all the stuff that I cut apart from the digital kit and some stuff that I had put aside to go with this kit. And I decided that it was time to start using my scraps. They were kind of piling up. So the blue paper was from another layout that I had done, and also the chevron and the lined paper also. And at this point I decide to use the mask that came in the kit, and I just used some Cup of Joe Hero Arts ink, and I'm just going to do a few spots on the page, and I want it so that it kind of frames the photo. So I'm just going to do it at the bottom, or at the top left, and then at the bottom right, just underneath the photo. So I'm just going to mat the photo with that blue polka dot, and the blue polka dot is Basics from Pebbles, and that chevron is from All About a Boy, Echo Park, and then the back side is that orange pattern. And I didn't have a big enough piece that I could kind of frame the photo the way I wanted, so all I end up doing is gluing them side by side, and even close up you can hardly tell that it's two pieces of paper. So this is where I'm going to use that chevron mask again, and I'm going to put it at the bottom, just underneath the photo, just so that the photo is sort of framed in between the mask. And then here I decide that I'm going to use that lined paper from Pebbles, and that's where I'm going to do the journaling. So I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want it to sit, because there's a kind of an awkward gap there. And then I decide that I'm going to use that orange paper, and that came from a die cut. I had cut it it was all the different words that I had cut apart the last layout, and there was this part left, so I kept it. So I'm going to use it on this layout. And the round tag was from the digital kit. And then those clouds, those punch clouds, I had punched them out to use as a mask a few layouts ago, and I kept it so that I could use it over and over again. So I'm just going to put some clouds just to the right of him. And this is a picture of my grandson, and he was only, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks old, and he found his thumb, and he just sucking on his thumb and just so happy and just so content. He's just such a good little baby. He just happy and and finding his thumb, and he didn't have to wait for the soother. That certainly helped. So I'm just going through some of the die cuts that I had cut apart from the paper pad from Amy Tangerine, and I'm going through some of the stickers. And that sticker is, I'm trying to see it on my page if I could see it. I think it says just my favorite. It was just my favorite moment, just when I turned around and he was sucking his thumb and he was just happy as can be. So what I did was that little tool that I just used, that's a powder tool from EK Success, and basically it's just to take away the stickiness from the back of the sticker. It's filled with powder, so when you shake the bristle, it's almost like a little paintbrush on top, and when you rub it on the back of the sticker, it just puts powder on the back and takes away the stickiness, so then you can move your sticker around without being committed to one specific area. So at this point I did grab one of those die cuts, and I cut it in half, and I put half of it at the bottom just underneath the photo, and then at the top right I'm looking at the page right now, and it must have got moved because it's not there anymore. So I probably, when I took everything apart, it probably, to start gluing it, it probably got moved, and then I didn't find it to glue it down again. So this 3x4 cards, it was actually a pattern paper from All About a Boy, and on the other side it was all little 3x4 cards. So I cut those apart, and I'm going to use them as accents and embellishment on my page. And now I'm just going through the labels that I glued on tags, and it's so much more organized than just all thrown into a bowl. So much easier to find what I need. And then I still took out those little chipboard geotags and arrows that we got last month, and they're from Studio Calico. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's any that I could use on this layout. I put the noted on the page right there, but I don't end up using. And that little snapshot was actually from digital kit that I cut apart. And at this point, I decide to start gluing everything down just so I can commit to it. After a while, I just find that everything is so messy, and because even though you try to straighten it all the time, it keeps moving. So until everything is glued down, at one point I just decide, okay, I got to start committing to stuff and just glue it down, because I could move stuff for, forever and a day. Ever since I started scrapbooking like that, it's just, especially ever since I started doing process videos, it's like, okay, the camera's rolling, so you got to keep scrapping. Where before I would move stuff and move stuff and move stuff and move stuff, and it would take me forever. Now I just kind of go with how it feels, and I'm getting through layouts much faster. So I'm liking that. That's one of the biggest benefits that was for me to start using kits. Was I just start with, an assortment of material at the beginning of the month, and it's like, okay, this is what I'm working with. I pull in some stuff from my stash, but most of the stuff is from the kit, and I just keep scrapping until basically, it's gone. And I'm really liking how many pages I'm getting done, and I feel like I'm not catching up, because I have literally like thousands of pictures to get through, but at least some of them are getting into the album, so that's a good feeling. So there's my big giant roll of foam tape, and I got that at Custom Crops. You just have to search for 3M Scotch tape, and usually it's about $46, $47, but I did get it on sale for about $33. So this, I just saw where the yellow paper went. It just got stuck in behind that orange, and it's just sitting there, and you can't even see it. I didn't notice when I put it down. I just kind of stuck it in behind. Oh well. An extra layer back there. And then that was the last star that I had left from a kit that we had gotten a couple months ago. So that was the last one. So I just inked it up with the Cup of Joe, and I glued it down. And now I chose some washi tape that kind of coordinated with the page, and I decided on this orange washi tape. And I think it's freckled fawn, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't keep track of all, like, who made the washi tape when I bought them, and now they're in 4 different containers, so I have no idea where most of, my washi tape is from. I started a new system where I started to glue them onto tags, so I should be able to, know more where they came from, and I plan on doing my whole collection like that, but it's going to take some time. I did have a question a few months ago for me to kind of videotape my washi tape collection and to see how I stored it, so I still plan on doing that video as soon as I feel like I'm caught up with scrapbooking and stuff, or that I can squeeze 15 minutes. I might try to do that this week, because there's no reason why I can't find 15 minutes to film that, or less. So at this point, I used that template, my homemade template, and used the navy ink from Hero Arts and just sponged in those clouds. And then I'm going to glue down that geotag. I'm still looking to see if there's any other of those arrows or anything on that sheet that I can use. I thought I might use those little arrowheads there, but I do decide against it, so I'm going to pull them off here in a minute. And now I'm going to use the Amy Tangerine Remarks stickers, and I'm going to use it in the orange, and I'm going to glue down. The title is just going to be So Happy, and I don't think I mentioned this, but this is layout 31 out of 50 for the Facebook challenge, and if you're interested, I'll put a link down below, and it's just a great group of ladies, and we all post our layouts, and it's just fun to all support each other on not shopping and getting more done. And everybody, their numbers are climbing really quickly, and everyone's saying how much they're getting done because they're spending less time on the internet looking at stuff to buy and more time creating stuff. So at first I think I'm going to use that those thickers, those brown thickers for the word so, but I'm going to decide against it here in a few minutes, and I'm going to use the Weekender from Amy Tangerine. And I really love those letters. They're a blue. And I just remembered too that I had brown Weekenders too, and I could have used those. Those would have looked good too. Oh, I guess I did take them out. So I guess I decided on the blue for a reason. So these are those ones there. They're called Rockabye. They're thickers, and they look like cork board, and they're really nice. I don't end up using them, but I really like them. I can't wait to use them. And then I thought about using the brown ones from Amy Tangerine, and those are called Weekender also. It's just that they're brown instead of blue. So my thickers, not all my thickers, but some of my thickers are in a basket right in front of my desk. And if I can't find anything that's from the Studio Calico kit, I go and I look in there for some thickers that I can use. And then I have another drawer that's full of thickers, so once in a while I'll go and I'll switch them out to make sure that I rotate sort of my letters. And this is layout, I think I forgot to mention, this is layout number 5 for my March kit, and it took me an hour and 10 minutes to complete. And I plan on just being done with this kit by May 10th, so I'm off for the next 5 days, so I'm going to try and do 2 layouts a day. I know that's quite the goal, because I have a lot of stuff to get done around the house too. But I'm going to make myself a list and try to get through it and just get it done. I feel really good. I was feeling kind of the last time I was off, but this time around I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm hoping to get quite a few things done. And obviously I'm not going to upload 2 layouts a day, so they're just going to pile up on on my computer, and I'll be uploading one layout a day or something until they're all done. So at this point, I go through my stuff, and I had some Jenny Bolin, and they're like little stars, and they're clear. So I put 3 of them with the clouds, because basically he was super tired. He just wanted, his thumb and his blankie, and go off to La La Land. And I took the picture just before he fell asleep. So that's the reason for the clouds and such. So I'm going to use my Glimmer Glaze, and I put it in the brown and blue and orange. And then I thought I was done, and then I thought, nope, I gotta add a little bit more stuff here. Excuse me. So I went again for my little tweets, and I'm going to put them in 3 different spots. And then, of course, I'm going to have to put some twine. And I grabbed one of those little potty boys. And I just got home from working a 12-hour shift, and it was overnight. So, but I have to stay up till my son goes to school. So I figured I might as well get something done while I'm waiting, so it keeps me awake. So I'm sorry if I sound super tired, and hopefully it's not too boring. So now I'm going to use my dot adhesive, and I'm going to put little curly cues in behind the birds, and I'm going to put it in 3 locations. And then I did put 3 buttons too that came with the collection this month. And I'm going to show you some close-ups. And here's a few still pictures, and the page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.